Good day, friends. Today I'm bringing you a story of my friend Robert MATOVU, who is a tourist guide, a German language speaking guide, and a conservationist. He runs a project called Go Green. And today we are visiting his home in Woblenzi, and he will give us a tour of the Go Green farm and share with us stories of how this idea was born and what he is doing with Go Green. What I must tell you about Robert Matovu's project is that it is a community-centered project. Let's see what he has to show us. You're welcome to explore. I am visiting, we call him Germany. Let me speak the little German I know. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, mein Herr Peter. Es freut mich, dich kennenzulernen.
Oh, danke schön. You can hear my German.
Mr. Green, also aka a nature addict. I was as a tourist guide. I did guests from German-speaking countries like German, Austria, Switzerland. I work with a company called Speak Uganda Holidays.
Okay.
And I'm very passionate about nature, about wildlife, and generally about people as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So that is Robert Matovu. Robert, what kind of child were you growing up? If people were to describe who is Robert as a child?
I grew up like any other normal child.
Okay.
But something unique about me is that the adventure part of me. I always loved travel. I loved nature. I've loved the people. Basically, I'm a very adventurous person, and I'm a very passionate person about conservation. So as a child, I never saw this coming, but I ended up into this, so connected to nature, and this is something that I do passionately. And whatever you see here, I love something that is to do with the green.
Okay. Let's talk about school. Where did you go to school? Early years in school, later years in school, your education journey.
So unlike the kids of today, I never attended the kindergarten or nursery. I went straight to primary school.
Okay.
So I attended the primary school in Intinda, primary school. I went for both my O and A level at Mengo Senior School, the only senior school in Uganda. The rest are secondary.
OBs, we send you greetings. The man on camera.
Yes.
Herbert is your OB, just so you know.
Yes, sure.
Herbert is your OB.
We are a little bit unique. Once you see a Mengonian, you can easily identify them. Very humble, very confident, and very passionate about what we do.
All those things are true.
Yes. And then I also attended my university at MOBS. I did a diploma in business studies, but I did this diploma in Uganda College of Commerce Pakwach, which is affiliated to MOBS.
Okay.
Kampala, yes.
Okay. How do you get into tourism?
To start with, when you look at my university qualification, I majored in accounting. So basically, I was supposed to be an accountant or an auditor. Yeah? But because of that undying passion for nature, I ended up joining tourism. But one of the things which led me to this was the other skill of the German language, which I acquired from Mengo Senior School.
Okay.
So the company I work with basically brings guests from German-speaking countries. And by the time I joined tourism, that is in 2012, that is 13 years down the road, this skill was very much needed, and there were not so many people who would speak German. So that gave me an entry point to tourism. But over time, I've learned a lot of things, which have helped me to get better and better into nature, flora and fauna, and so on and so forth.
Wow. So if I understand you correctly, you joined the tourism industry as someone who could speak the German language for the German-speaking guests.
I actually joined the industry as merely a translator
Okay.
Then over time, we did different courses
And
in regard to nature trainings, which helped me to learn more about animals,
Yes.
about trees and plants, and so on and so forth. So since then, I have upgraded from being merely a translator to a full capacitated guide.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think there is a hack. On my channel and on all my social media, a lot of young people ask me this question.
Yes.
I am passionate about tourism. I want to join the industry.
Yes.
What can I do? Where do I start? Guys, the hack is, one of the hacks that I could give you is learn another international language. I think without you speaking German, there might have been no way of you coming close to speak Uganda holidays as an accountant.
That is true.
Who is guiding. So, friends out there, think about learning an international language. And that could be German, that could be, maybe we can unpack it. It could be Spanish,
French,
Chinese.
yes, Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah.
So, young people out there, this comes to you for free. Learn an international language. Your first safari as a translator. What do you remember about it? How was it?
As a German guide, it was a little bit tricky because when we talk about the German language, besides knowing the language, there are so many dynamics involved.
Yes.
For example, there comes in what we call the different dialects. People from different areas, the way they speak the German language can vary from one place to another. When you get somebody from Bavaria or Munich, and then you find somebody from Berlin, if they really speak in their dialect, it can be challenging. But the most important thing in a language, it may not necessarily need you to know exactly all the vocabulary, but understanding and comprehension. Are the people you are traveling with able to understand you? Are you able to drive the point home?
Yeah.
So perfection comes with the time when you keep practicing the language. So it was a little bit, for the first time, you have the goosebumps, but with the time you overcome that.
My imagination is that you were speaking Ugandan German. And then you're talking about the dialect and
so
words.
There is what they call the standard. It is called Hoch German.
Okay.
That is what is taught in school.
Okay.
But when somebody goes back to their roots, sometimes that comes in.
Okay.
It is part of their cultural pride, somebody to speak in their dialect.
Okay.
But under normal circumstances, there is the universal where that dialect is uniform to everyone.
13 years later, are you able to speak any dialect, any German dialect?
Actually, there are so many. So, but at least you can pick a few words from
when you listen
each when you get to meet different people. But speaking dialect is not the most important.
Yeah.
The most important is making the point reach home. Have the people you are traveling with understood you? If they do not understand however much good you speak and you do not lead to comprehension, then you may hit a dead end.
13 years down the road, what are some of the challenges that you have encountered or experienced in working as a guide?
Well, just like any profession, any occupation, any job has its own challenges. To me, I would say they are really minimal. Some of them are nature related, like the long distances, the roads are bad. When you drive a car in a rainy day, it can be pretty much challenging. But when you do this over time, you get to learn the dynamics of the roads where you go, how you handle it. Yeah, basically that. Then on the side of the people you travel with, different people have different expectations, but as long as you remain to the program, it kind of gets lighter and better over time. So as long as you play in according to your travel plan, the challenges will get reduced with the time.
Wow.
Yes.
Great. There's a question I always ask every guide that I host on my program.
Yes.
What is your most memorable safari? Or what are some of your most memorable guiding moments?
That's quite...
I know there are many.
There are many, but there is this particular one whereby there is a client who really got crazy about Africa. She first traveled with her husband, then later on she kept on coming with the friends. But every time she came back, it was always like the first time. I would say she was hyper and so much, she had this undying passion.
Yeah.
So one evening, we were doing an evening game drive, and we were the only one in the park. We got an encounter of a group of baboons. They had an engagement with a leopard. The baboons were trying to attack the leopard, but somehow the leopard found its way through these many baboons, and on its escape route, it almost bumped into a warthog. It ran, climbed a very tall tree. The baboons followed, but this was something unimaginable, that this time around the hunter was being hunted.
Wow.
He stayed at the tip of the tree. He couldn't come down because the baboons were waiting, and we waited for many hours, but it caused a lot of fear in this leopard, and he never tried to come back until all the baboons had gone away. So that is something unforgettable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful nature's encounters. These and more stories you will always hear from me as I speak with different tourist guides. Really, that is really memorable. But is there also a moment on a safari when you had such a huge challenge that you can pick up from different angles?
Yeah, I've had quite a few of those, although quite often I never concentrate on the negative bits, but I would highlight one in particular, whereby I had a family, a father, a mother with their two daughters. So what was quite challenging this time around was that before they came to Uganda, they had done safaris without a guide.
Self-drive.
So this time they come and everything had to be handled by a guide. Meanwhile, the mother was kind of used to the way they used to do it without a guide, and she wanted to take control of everything.
Yes.
Which had the programs, the guidebooks, which tourists carry, and she would want to read everything from there and to tell me what to do. Meanwhile, I would continue telling them that I had the entire program, but it wasn't easy with this family. But eventually we had a very successful safari, and everything was very good, and to me that is something I cherish very much. Doesn't matter how challenging it is, but the end of it all is what determines. If a guest goes back with the great memories, when they really had a good time, none of them has gotten sick, to me I would call it very successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We talked about the German language and how that became the key that opened the door for you to enter the tourism industry. For someone out there, maybe they are out of school. They could be in school, but they're not studying a language. They could be out of school, or it is someone who was not able to continue with school, but they have a passion about tourism and they would like to learn a language, let's say the German language.
Yes.
How do I get started today if I want to learn a language? Where do I go? Do you run a school yourself? How can I start my journey on learning German?
There are now lots of opportunities out there.
Okay.
For example, there is a place in Kampala called the Goethe Institute. This one teaches a variety of languages, foreign languages. For example, it teaches German as a language.
Okay.
You can also learn French from the same center. And then definitely there are others out there who also teach Spanish, and there are also other languages which are beginning to trend right now. But there are lots of opportunities for those that want to learn a language. There are so many institutions that teach. But I would say for me, on a special case, for parents who have their kids joining since secondary level, senior one, I would recommend Mengo Senior School as a place which would shape them into getting to that level.
I think Mengo Senior Secondary School needs to pay for this advert.
There's a point of correction. Mengo is the only senior school, no secondary.
Oh, it's okay. Mengo Senior School.
Exactly.
The advert has been logged in. You need to pay for it.
But on a serious case, this is a serious school that has nurtured so many professionals all around. I'd highly recommend it.
Okay.
And that is also an added advantage, because the moment you pay for your school fees, then the language is automatically covered, especially if the child is interested in that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You have traveled around Uganda, different
Yes.
parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Which is your favorite national park?
Wow.
And
My
why?
favorite national park. All parks have their unique aspects, but personally, my favorite is Machishon Falls National Park. To start with, it is very well. I mean, it is gifted with lots of animals. The big four, you can find them in the Machishon Falls.
Yes.
But the waterfall, the Machishon Falls itself, it is in its own caliber.
Yeah.
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 So besides the animals, the waterfall, but the landscape as well, and the variety of animals that you get to see, that makes it unique for me and makes it top amongst all the 10 national parks that we have in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And do you have a favorite animal?
Yes,
What is your favorite animal?
it always remains the lion, king of the jungle.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a lion.
Okay.
That is my star sign,
Okay.
August Bonds.
Ah,
So because of its all different attributes,
yes.
it still remains a lion as
Okay.
my favorite cat.
Okay.
Mm.
Hearing your name, Matovu, it's clear that you are born in the central region of Uganda.
Mm.
But if you were not Ugandan and you came from another country, now that you've traveled around the country for years,
Mm-hmm.
which part of Uganda would you love to settle if you had to settle in Uganda, and why?
The different parts of Uganda are really beautiful, but I would still choose where I'm born. East or West, home is best. So I would choose this central part.
Why?
Because of the network I've developed over time,
Okay.
the accessibility to what I need, and then also the proximity to the big centers. But I would also, the other part probably which comes in the second position would be the western part of Uganda, especially Rukunjeri. It's really beautiful, the landscape, the fertility of the soil, and it is also closer to tourism points.
Okay.
So, but basically my best part, I would always say I would love to stay, is the central part, the area where I basically come from.
Okay. In doing your work as a guide, of course, you know I'm a tourist guide myself.
Yes.
But I would like to hear from you. What are some of the things that you think, if they were in place or if they were done, they would make the work of a tourist guide easier and more comfortable? Just a few things.
So one of the major highlights
Yeah.
is if all the infrastructures were well developed, like the road infrastructure,
Yeah.
that would really ease the movement easy, because the long distances you drive, and especially if you drive on the bad roads,
Yeah.
it can be really very cumbersome.
Yeah.
Then also the other thing that is really very important are the networks, cell phone networks. There are places you go to, you stay there several days, but you can hardly make calls home.
Yeah.
So if that is also improved, that would be for us, but also for the people that we receive. Then also I would say that right now I think it's getting better, but water infrastructure, the different places having water well connected, that is also something that is very important. Without water, basically life can be very difficult. And you find that, for example, in some of the lodges, getting access to water is very hard, especially those that which are not closer to water bodies. So water, good road network, network for cell phone, and also electricity. Those are 4 main aspects that I think would really be very important for the tourism industry and to ease our work.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you mentioned roads, and I have had officials from the government. They brag about the whole of the country having very good road networks. Are there places that you could just pick out?
Yes, there are very important places. Like if you are connecting to places where you find the mountain gorillas,
yes,
it is very absurd, because these are places which bring in a lot of foreign money in the country, but they are the ones which have the worst infrastructure in as far as road network is concerned.
Yes.
So it is an appeal to the government that if such places which really yield a lot of money catered for, I think that would make it more economically sensible.
Yes. Now that you mention the gorillas, actually, the road from Muko to Rushaga,
yes,
which is always becoming troublesome. The road from Kisoro to Nkuringo, that's another challenge.
The road from Kabale to Ruhija.
To Ruhija, yes.
And then the road from Chihehe to Bohoma.
Yeah.
All these are very key roads leading to this major tourism attraction, but unfortunately it is more like something that is forgotten.
Of course, the classic one for me, it is Kitgum to Kidepo.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nightmare, truth be told.
Yes.
That is a nightmare of an adventure if you're going for a tour. By the time you get to Kidepo National Park, the guests should be asking you, is he sure where he's going, or are we lost and we are going to a different country?
And the last time I did the connection from Kanungu to the main road, Kisoro Road, it's only about 50 kilometers.
Yes.
But according to the impression I got, the guests thought I was lost. But you can imagine, only 50 kilometers,
3 hours.
3 hours. 3 grilled hours.
50 kilometers, 3 hours.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You talk about the challenge with the client tour guide.
Yes.
Who has his manual, I mean a whole textbook.
Yes.
And he wants the textbook to be done in 10 days on a tour. What exactly happened?
A few areas where I remember it was really getting blowing out of proportion was, there was a time when we reached Kabale and we are heading to Lake Bunyonyi. So she picks out this guidebook and telling me, okay, in this area we are doing this, we are doing this, we are doing this boat tour on this lake and this and that and that. But then I kept telling her, I have all this on the program. So that is one incident. Then the other was, she told me that she didn't want to act like a tourist. She wanted to be like a normal person. So she would cross the road going to a chapati stand without looking this way or that way, not knowing where the traffic flow is. Oh my goodness. That was so scary, because
I mean, she could easily be swept over by a border.
Yeah, by a border or the taxis and so on and so forth. So it was majorly, it gave me tension from time to time.
Okay.
Then there was an incident whereby we were in Queen Elizabeth Park,
Yeah.
and we went to Ishasha where we found the tree climbing lions.
Yes.
I usually talk about this, and then to those people who ask me about the challenges, it turns out to be very interesting and funny. So on this fateful day, we go to Ishasha. The crazy lions hadn't climbed; they were just at the airstrip. So we navigated all the other trees, thinking maybe other lions have climbed, and none of them was there because they had spent their time down.
Yes.
So after finishing, we are driving out, and the lady is telling me to go back to look for the lions in the trees. And then I told her, these are the same lions which climb, so if they have not climbed, they've spent their time down. So nature is nature. And she wasn't happy about that at all. The rest of the family was happy, but this particular person was unhappy. When you pick guests up from the airport, this is how a tour should start. First of all, there is what we call a brief.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to get the guests seated, relaxed, and then you try to go through the program. You get to know a little bit about their expectations, and then the expectations of you towards them.
Yes.
You go through the entire program, basically about the dress code, the places you are going to visit,
Yes.
and all the requirements during the trip. Yeah? You need to tell them the do's and the don'ts. You need to tell them the safety precautions.
Yes.
Because during the tour, there is a lot that you encounter along the way, but they should also know how to behave in whichever situations.
Yes.
For example, they have their cameras, they are excited about everything. You wouldn't expect a guest photographing a policeman or a military personnel.
Yes.
So they need to know these things, and if they don't know, they could make errors which would land you into very big problems.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you also need to tell them the distances and the time frame you expect to arrive at different destinations.
Yes.
And definitely, since you have the entire program for the entire trip, they need to know when and where they're going to do what. They need to know when they are going to have meals, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is in the briefing.
Yes.
Okay. So now you finish the briefing. What other things should a tour guide know how to do?
Now, this is also very important. Sometimes when people hear about a tourist guide, their mind goes directly to national parks. But as a tourist guide, you need to be equipped with enough information. From the time when you pick the guests, that is where your guiding starts. From where you are, the way of life of the people there, the economic activities, wherever you are, you need to be updated. You need to have thorough information about that place.
Yeah.
And then you cannot keep quiet simply because you think that tourism happens in national parks. But from the point of pickup, that is where your job starts. And for anybody who wants to aspire for this job, the biggest weapon is your mouth, and you need to talk. You need to respond to the questions, and you need to be factual. Yes. So from the time of pickup to the last day of your trip, you need to be updated with the relevant information.
Yeah.
Yes, because basically you want to sell your country, you need to tell them the good about your country. You need to protect your country.
Yes.
Especially when you are bringing out the best of what this country has to offer.
Great.
Yeah.
So guys, those are a few hacks. Otherwise, you need to sign up for tourist guiding masterminds. You need to sign up for our tourist guides trainings that we will be announcing to you very soon. Robert, you also talked about how you are an accounting professional, but now you are guiding. How did you get the job? How did you apply? Did someone look for you? How did you get into Speak Uganda Holidays?
When I finished my diploma in business studies, I had qualified, I had highly performed with a second upper,
Okay.
diploma. But I was competing with people who had degrees and other qualifications. So job market wasn't easy. So this I also need to bring to the young people is that when you're in school, school develops you all around. You need to look at each and every skill that you've acquired over time. So for me, when job opportunity out there was so competitive, then I had other skills. For example, I had very good driving skills. I also had a foreign language. But also you need to have very good interpersonal skills, like, you need to be a very good timekeeper.
Yeah.
You need to be a good personal.
Yeah.
Your personal with skills with people, how you interact with others.
Yes.
That has to come
Yeah.
in place. So I had motivated a young man during my school who had also done the German language just like me, was working with another company. And later on in life, we meet and he tells me that there is this opportunity and the only requirement was a German language. So that was my ticket to join tourism.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I joined tourism.
So he tells you that there is a place,
Mhm.
And then what did you do?
So I go to this company. I've told you I've worked for Speak Uganda Holidays.
Yeah.
It's now 13 years. And it is a very, very professional company.
Yeah.
And basically my ticket was the German language. That is what I communicated and that is what they needed. But later on, I did more trainings which kept me on the right direction, especially on this job. And I got better and better to the extent that I've been with this company for the past 13 years.
Robert, I know you as a conservationist. You are very, very passionate about nature, and actually not just nature. I think, as far as I know, you are very passionate about trees. And we know you as Mr. Green.
Yes.
Let's talk about Mr. Green. Where does this whole Mr. Green and the Green Farm passion and idea come from?
So the moment I joined tourism, I continued to study my environment. I knew that now nature would be a biggest part of, somewhere where, there's breadwinning.
Yes.
And as a tourist guide, we all depend so much on nature. So when I saw what is happening around us, just in the background, what the noise you might have been able to hear, trees are being felled down.
Yeah.
But the question is, when one tree or so many trees are cut, how many trees are planted? So this hit me so hard, and I thought, okay, us being the major beneficiaries of this, how can we live sustainably? Because right now, when you look at electricity, that is the major source of power in Uganda, but it has not yet been evenly distributed, but it's also at the same time very expensive.
Yes.
So which means that the biggest part of the population, that's about 45 million people, and of which most of them are more into the countryside. They depend on firewood, charcoal, and that means those are so many trees that will be cut. So this gave me something to think about, that when we do not conserve as beneficiaries, then we do not know where we shall be able to earn in the so many years to come.
Yes.
So that is one of the things which has pushed me to advocate for conservation. Yes, and I began planting trees ever since the 13 years when I joined tourism.
When exactly did you start planting trees?
2013.
2013. Schools and numbers. Do you have a number to it? How many schools have you so far been able to enroll, and maybe by estimation or exact number, how many trees you have planted?
Currently, locally in this region, we are working with about 10 schools.
Okay.
And periodically, for example, in the coming week, we are going to give out about 500 tree seedlings, which vary from different kinds.
Yeah.
There are those which are basically just for fruit,
Okay.
mangoes, avocado. We also have oranges, for example, jackfruit,
Okay.
and then we also have cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one category. Then there are those which are of indigenous species,
Yes.
macamia, musizi tree,
Mvule.
movule, that is under the hardwick for timber purposes,
Yes.
and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Go Green Farm. Let's also just tell us about the Go Green Farm in terms of objectives, impact. Where do you see the Go Green Farm going, and what are some of the milestones, the achievements that you are very proud of?
So at the Go Green Farm, we look at impacting this locality.
Yes.
Letting people know about what we stand for, but we also offer free tree seedlings to the people around us, and we are also trying to attract them to get onto board, as in to get to be part of this conservation concept.
Yeah.
So we are more like a case study to show something good to the people around us, something they can affiliate themselves with. When they see something good and the benefits we are getting, I think that is one way of encouraging people to do what we do. It begins from us. So basically, what we do here, this is our project, but which is also aimed at bringing the other people around us on board, to show them the beautiful part of conservation, the advantages of planting trees, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
So I believe that in the long run, the people around us, near and far, they are going to copy something good, and we shall keep our environment clean and green.
Wow. Friends, so Robert here is a tourist guide. He is a German language translator. He is a Go Green advocate and practitioner who is planting trees and working with the community around his own home to go green. And you have heard it from him. I think this is something that each of us has to be challenged about, to at least endeavor to do everything that we can do that is within our means to plant as many trees as possible. Robert, I have seen you run a campaign on raising money to plant trees. I want you to talk about the t-shirt campaign.
When we have these t-shirts, at the back we have a wording, the Go Green. So the wording is plant a tree, plant life. So basically, for anyone who plants a tree, logically you're enhancing livelihood, because like I said, trees are oxygen giving machines.
Yeah.
How many of us would live if you are denied oxygen for even 5 minutes? That is not very possible. But with the trees, they give us free oxygen. Maybe before I forget, somebody may ask, is that sustainable? That the proceeds we get from these t-shirts can sustain our projects? We are now, we have a driving power. We have our partners from the US, and we have also an NGO called True Tree Education Support, through which our projects run. My colleague is called David Washington. He's an American guy who saw me starting and he said he should be part of me.
Okay.
And then we started this campaign together, and we've been officially registered since 2018.
Okay.
And we are pushing it on. We actually also have accommodation for people who want to volunteer with us. We are located in Katikam, a small village called Kikoza, whereby people who want to see what we do and they want to participate in tree planting, we can house them for that purpose.
You have a forest or a tree farm in Katikam.
Actually, we have also introduced what we call macro forests, whereby you plant trees, different species, especially forest trees, in a small space.
Yeah.
But because of competition, they grow faster
Yes.
than when somebody plants trees further apart from each other. So it is in a smaller concentration,
Yeah.
and they grow in a faster time in comparison to when you plant trees scattered from one place to another.
Okay.
Yes.
I know there are guys out there who are wondering. He says he speaks German. Shall we get to hear him speak German? And I think this is the point when you can make a call to action for people who would like to join the Go Green campaign, but they only speak German. And I think it would be a good thing that you speak to them in German.
Also, ja, ich heiße Robert. Mein Spitzename ist Herr Grün oder Mr. Grün. Mr. Green. Ich bin der einer von der Geschäftsführer für dieses Projekt, dieses Go Green Projekt. Und wir hängen viel von Spende ab. Also diejenigen, die dort sind, wollen uns unterstützen mit Geld, damit wir Baumsetzlingen kaufen. Seien wir herzlich willkommen. Wir haben viele Partners aus Europa, besonders aus Deutschland, aus der Schweiz und Österreich. Also das sind ein sehr großer Teil von diesem Erhaltungsprojekt. Also ich habe Freunde, zum Beispiel die Uli Steingruppe aus München. Sie ist auch eine sehr gute Partnerin zu diesem Projekt. Also diejenigen, die zu diesen Schutzprojekten Interesse haben, bitte, sie heißen wirklich willkommen. Ich bin der MATOVU Robert, Herr Green oder Mr. Green.
So guys, you have got the guy speaks real German for my Ugandan friends, and for our German friends from Switzerland, Austria and German. We are here with Robert, who is not just a tourist guide and a language guide, but he is also an advocate for going green and conserving nature. Thank you, Robert. Really, for me, this is really something that is very critical, that everyone, at least for starters in tourism, should be very, very, very intentional about. But generally, the whole world needs to be intentional. When we arrived here, there is something that you mentioned, and it made me realize that the problem of the world is not just that trees are being cut. The real problem is that trees are not being planted.
Yes.
Guys, think about it. The real problem that we are facing with this whole thing of climate change and global warming is not just that trees are being cut. The actual problem is that trees are not being planted. And you and I are doing nothing. I think, having talked with you, Robert, I think everyone really, for my followers on all my social media, let's think about it. What if each of us got up, thousands as we are, thousands are following me, thousands out there you are listening to me. What if each of us got up every day to plant one tree? We would make a big difference. Really, thank you, Robert. This is really, really great.